In this video we're going to do the discriminant test with a few examples. We start out as reference here. Here's the quadratic formula, and the portion that's under the square root sign is called the discriminant. It's b squared minus 4ac. And if that portion under the square root sign is 0, then we end up with just the minus b over 2a. So we have one solution. If this portion under the square root, the discriminant, is positive, then we have a number, a real number here, and so we have minus b plus that and minus b minus that over 2a. So we have two real solutions. If this is negative, then we have the square root of a negative sign, which we can't do. That ends up as an imaginary or complex number, not a real solution. So those are the three cases for the discriminant. So now we'll take an example and try that. So as our first example, we'll have x squared minus 2x minus 2 equals 0. So here's our first example, and we look here, the coefficient a would be 1, and the b coefficient for the x term, b, would be minus 2, and the c coefficient, the constant, would be minus 2. So there's our a, b, and c. Now we plug it into this discriminant, so I'll just say d equals b squared, that's minus 2 squared, minus 4 times a, which is 1, times c, which is minus 2. Minus 2 squared gives us 4. Minus 4 times minus 2 gives us a positive 8 times 1. So we have plus 8. So our discriminant is 12, which is a positive number. So if we have a positive number, then that means that we have two real solutions. And that's what the discriminant test does for us. It just gives us a heads up as to how many solutions we're going to have when we plug these into this quadratic formula. Okay, so let's try a second example. And this one, we'll use 3x squared minus 2x minus 8 equals 0. So for this we have a is equal to 3, and b would be equal to minus 2, and c would be equal to minus 8. Now we plug these three numbers into our discriminant. So we have d equals b squared minus 4 times a, which is 3, times minus 8. Now we resolve that further. Minus 2 squared is 4. Minus 4 times minus 8 gives us a plus 32. Plus 32 times 3 gives us a plus 96. So the discriminant is a positive number, 100. And if we have a positive number, then we have, I'll just write positive here, we have two real solutions. So that's all the discriminant test does. And it's pretty useful. If you end up getting discriminant of a negative number, it tells you don't have any real solutions, and there's no need for you to go any further into the quadratic formula.